Good morning, good morning. Let's see what's happening here. We got Twitch up. We got YouTube. And 9 people watching over there. 3 likes. Thank you for hitting that like button. Anybody that has hit it, you're amazing. $13 people. Good morning, Drift Juice. Good morning, No Rush. Good morning, Summer. Good morning, Steven. Or Stefan, however you pronounce it. Am I ready for this? I'm pretty ready. I want to see some great movement today. Yesterday I was kind of absent from everything. I was trying to figure out what was going on. I did see Rocket didn't do much, actually decreased quite a bit. So now I have to continue to lower my cost average. That sucks, but I'll figure it out. Let's see. Let's go with this one. This one's different. What's the number for AMC? 95 sell. $95. That's I don't know why 15. Like I said, I mean, I'm just hoping that it really pushes above 15. People were making a big deal about this quadruple witching day, and I talked about it in my my Discord group. Yes, you should make a big deal about it because it's increased volatility and also increased volume that we would see for AMC. We normally see we're seeing a pretty high amount of volume for a number of days. So hopefully we see that plus the addition of the quadruple witching day. So it, like somebody said in the Discord group, is that you know, it seems to happen, you know, every year, like what, 3 times a year I think it is, and the volatility isn't really that high. So I'm just hoping for some good news. Obviously, the overall market is looking pretty good compared to yesterday. Yesterday, everything was down. So I bit my lip yesterday, and it hurts very bad just to talk. Good morning, Diego. Would love to hear your thoughts on A1. ARK investing heavily into it. Do you think of it as a long-term or short-term trade? Give me a second. Let me look at that in a little bit. Let me just add something to the chat. We got 115 people in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button as soon as you get in here. Okay. Needed to gather my thoughts this morning. It's been a busy morning. I've been doing everything. All right. So, this is relatively new. But you look at the consistent growth that it did have over you know, a short period of time, and short period of time being a number of months, seeing a little bit of a pop here, a little bit of a gap up. That's good news. It did drop down to lower than, you know, where that eventual increase is. Seeing the strength though in the buying power is definitely a great sign. I would look at this as a swing trade opportunity. You can see the movement here. You can see it from 15 down to 10, back up to about 14, back down to about 11. So you might be on the way down here. And even though you are seeing a day to where it is increasing, you might still be on the way down here in order to get back to maybe these previous lows. I would like to see it somewhere around this previous low without any like full history to understand where the stock price is, where it finds strength. I would probably say I would wait for it to come down to about $10, $11. And then even if it does drop down to $10.30, you can still see a pretty decent push up to like $14 or so, $13, $14. So that would be my opinion there. What's going on, cup of spaghetti? Yeah, everybody's hitting that like button. We got 165 people in here and we have 53 likes. That's good. Make sure you continue to do that. As you get in here, smash that like button. Give me a second. So I'm still looking at Ride. I'm really interested in what Ride did yesterday because look, it bounced off of the previous low of 1280. So I'm a little upset that I couldn't get in there yesterday at 1280 because that would be amazing to hit that low and then see that eventually increase. Hopefully we don't have any more down markets because it could surpass that low if we have some more down markets. But I think this is going to be really good if we see a positive day today, which we are seeing a positive day across the board. Across most things, we're seeing a positive day. So Ride is definitely a big move for me. I'm looking to get in there at $13. Probably lower than that. I would love to get in there at like 1280. If I can get in there lower than 1280, that'd be perfect, you know? But I don't know if it will pass that. You have a lot of selling going on in this. So is the market crashing? I don't think the market's crashing. We just seen a couple of down days, which you typically see. You're not going to have everything go the positive route. They say the stock market goes up more than, it goes down more than it goes up. So you're going to see some really bad movement down for a number of days. But you'll see some positive days, just like we've seen on Monday, a really good positive day. We haven't really seen a crazy positive day since then. It's been mainly downhill. We got up to 1487 for this, and we should have surpassed like 15 easily. But since the overall market crashed, it changed the situation. What's the ticker symbol for Ride? It's Ride, RIDE. Yeah, so I like looking at this one because it looks really, really interesting with the amount of volatility you've seen. You did have history before that to where, it was pretty much flat at like $9, $10, but then you've seen a lot of movement and it continue with that movement. So I want to say this is going to be a really good bet to hit a couple of resistance points of $18, $22, $25, $31. It's going to be really good for that. I believe. That's just my opinion. We have 219 people in here. Make sure you continue to hit that like button. We have 2 people over on Twitch. Thank you for viewing on Twitch. I didn't set up anything with TikTok. I might as well do that. Today is going to be, I think today's going to be a good day. I had a great day yesterday. It was pretty fun. Went to Jersey and went to Top Golf. All right. So how did everybody's yesterday go? Because I was going to do something yesterday, but it was pretty much all day that I was just out of commission. Can ZOM hit $3? I think it can. I'm waiting for it to go below $2 and see where, like, how low it actually goes. But I can tell you that, go back to popular. I can tell you that I'm waiting for it to drop. It's at $2.06, so I'm waiting for it to go below $2. I think it can surpass $3. The problem is that like I said, with what happened with Truforma, releasing that early really shot their stock price in the foot, because they could have been, $4, $5 probably next week, and they still can, but I feel like the buildup of that news, made it a little bit better. The fact that it's already released, there's no buildup, Damn, dude, you doing the pre-market stream? Yesterday I did. Pre-market here starts at 4 a.m. It may be earlier for you depending where you live. Yesterday was boring and flat for AMC and BB. I seen it get up relatively high for AMC. Well, not relatively high, but higher for AMC yesterday. What, 1454? That's not bad. I thought that maybe it had a chance of passing 15 yesterday, but it was definitely flat. Every time I went to check back, it was at like 1410, and I was like, oh, okay, well. You check GME pre-market price. You know what I mean? What's the price at the minute? We're seeing, let's look at every minute intervals here. So we haven't really seen much movement since the jump of the pre-market here, but we're at $203. Got a high of $207. Did drop down, not significant, I guess significantly, from $207 back down to about $203. So, I mean, it's positive. You can see that it's 0.6%. It's just not where we hoped for it to be. People are making a big deal about this day, and I don't want it to be something that it's not. You know what I mean? I understand we're supposed to see increased volatility, increased volume. Also, with our normal increased volume, it should be a ridiculously high day. But yeah, I'm not saying that this is going to be the most perfect day possible. Did you buy in at like 220? Like I said, I bought in at 240, and that was a while ago. So I bought it at 240. I can't remember what day it was. So I have 2 shares at 240. We have 364 people in here. If you could hit that like button, get it above 150 likes, that'll be amazing. If you guys want to join my Discord group, the link is in the chat, also in the description. Boy, am I tired. Switch from YouTube to Twitch. Oh, thank you. Well, for supporting me over here. Supporting me on any platform is great. I got some free stocks yesterday. I got 6 free stocks yesterday. We'll see if I get any today. Not 100% sure. What is this, Workhorse? I think I talked about this a while ago. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. Let's see. Yesterday, just like kind of everything else, and we've seen some downward movement. Well, actually, not like everything else. It's a little little higher, 9%. We are seeing an increase of 1% right now for Workhorse. I can tell you that looking at this, not short term, but I guess over the last couple of months, you can see that large increase that it did have, and that massive fall is not good. And showing that it is, fighting at this point is not the best look. I understand you can look at it as a new low, but the fact that it's not hitting the low and bouncing off, it is not good. It's not. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying it's not good. So seeing it fight with all the buying and selling power here and not pushing up, it doesn't look well for it. It doesn't look good. I'll tell you that. So $11.87 of a high to get to $17. I mean, you can get a pretty good gain from it, but I don't think you're going to have something that skyrockets to $42 unless you have some news that's going to tell you otherwise. This drop might have been justified, and then you see the buying and selling power that really keeps it flat. I understand it is pushing between $11 and that $17 or $18 mark, maybe a little higher as well, but I don't see it as a huge swing trade. You can get something of a smaller swing trade, a couple dollars, from that $11 mark or $12 mark up to the $17 mark, but I don't see anything more than that. It looks like it's pretty much consolidating at this point, staying flat. What's up with Upstart and JFIN? Both ran yesterday. Not sure if we will see more gains today. It may be over. Yeah, for most cases, if you see it run a lot, then you may have just missed the boat. And I don't want to be that person to tell someone to get into it. Yeah, this looks like a complete pump here, and it looks like it's holding. But you did have a little bit of a sell-off. The point that the fact that we did not see a sell-off is interesting, especially with how it jumped over basically like a 2-hour candlestick. So that's huge. But like I said, you definitely just missed the boat. If you're looking to get in now, it would be chasing the stock. Even though it did drop down a little bit, it would be chasing the stock. So I don't know the reason why it ran yesterday. It may just been people pumping it. And that's what you're seeing with a number of positions. People pump it and it just runs. So for me, I would stay away. It is me, and I'm going to stay away. We have 451 people in here. Continue to hit that like button, guys. Get it above 150, 200 likes. 3 people on Twitch. No people on TikTok. Yeah, Upstart ran a lot too. Yeah, you definitely missed that boat right there. From $61 up to $124. Yeah, definitely missed that boat. I mean, it's doubled in price. You've seen things that double in price. You have a number of things that have the ability to double or triple even. But yeah, I think you missed this boat, even though you did see that increase over the end of the day and still continue to see that increase the day after. I don't know what you will see today. Will it continue? But I wouldn't chase it. Same thing with Workhorse. Same thing with JFIN. Sorry, not Workhorse. Upstart. I'm all over the place today. So yeah, 472 people. If you guys want to join my Discord group, you know what to do. Hit that link. I had a great birthday yesterday. It was filled with a bunch of stuff and a new watch and a PlayStation 5. So I feel great. I haven't set up the PlayStation 5 yet. I put it in. I took it out of the box and everything. I didn't set anything up. Yes, profit hands all day. will take profits today. You got in at 70 on the way up. Yeah, you never know what this is going to do. I mean, if you got in at 70 on the way up, then you're good. You pretty much bought in somewhere around here, and you ended up riding it on the way up. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and it's best to just, in my opinion, take your profits. If it does run up and continues to run up for some odd reason, I would say you definitely do your research to understand if it is going to make another move up, because it looks like, yesterday in the beginning of the day, I would think with how it ran up, it would drop down significantly. But something in the news or something's happening to fuel this and push this up as high as possible. Where it did consolidate again, are we going to see that same trend? Run up, consolidate, run up, flatten out. Like, are we going to see that? But in my opinion, if it was me and I got in at 70, I would definitely make my move and take my profits. Especially if I got in at a high amount of shares. Like if I bought, I don't know, 100, 200 shares, yeah, definitely get out. For me, at least. I committed the cardinal sin. Uh, take a PS5 out of the box and not play it. Yeah, I know. I didn't play it. I would have needed to download the game. Miles Morales, but apparently Erica searched high and low for this and finally able to get one. I was supposed to get one a while ago, but I haven't been playing a lot of games lately. I've been pretty busy. So hopefully I have some time to where I can play some, maybe 30 minutes or an hour here or whatever. That would be great. Have to look who bought those shares. Yeah. Any new meme stocks? Not that I know of. I mean, there's a lot of different ones that are being pumped, but every time we see it and it is being pumped, it's kind of too late in my opinion. But yeah, what I like to look for is anything that does have a high amount of shorted shares, and we can continue to look at those. Just got mine yesterday. Crazy how hard to find one. Yeah, I know. Welcome to the club, bro. Just need a switch now. I don't know about that. I mean, actually, we do know about that because Erica wanted one, so that might be. I might end up getting one of those, but I'll put it upstairs. It won't be down here. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. The thoughts on investing into Roblox on the downtick/dip. I think this could be very good long term. Thanks. So for Roblox, I said a bunch of times that I don't know where the actual dip is. The fact that it is at $67 is a good thing because it's showing its true volatility. For what you were seeing in the beginning, yes, it got down to $60 here, right? This was the low that it dropped to, and then increased quite a bit over the next couple of minutes. And then in the after hours market, you've seen it jump to 93, never got to that point again. So you could say that 79 is probably a point to where it would have a number of touch points. Where it does, it has this touch point, obviously this touch point to where it started, and then it also has these two candle wicks there. So 79 looks like the high point, and 67 or 66, 67 looks like the low point. So right now it's 69, where it's at up 2.6%, but I still haven't seen the true bottom. I think it is good long term once you figure out where the bottom is. People are staying in this. The reason why it's staying steady is because people buy into an IPO, hold on to it to see what's going to happen. Then if it does have a massive increase, they sell off, and end up taking their profits. But for most of these people, they're sitting in here to wait to see if it does skyrocket, if it does go up to $100. And if it does, then they're going to end up, selling off on those positions, which brings it down to maybe its true low. So I want to see if it's going to hit. I want to see its volatility here, and I haven't seen that yet. But I do think it's a long-term play. You just have to figure out what the entry point is. Thank you for joining, Maggie. We have 586 people in here. Continue to hit that like button, get it above 250 likes. Everybody that's in here should hit the like button. That would be great. This guy is take profit and haul ass. I'm profit hands. If you don't understand exactly what you need to do in the stock market, then you're going to end up losing money. I understand that the overall thought of the stock market, as a number of billionaires and millionaires will say, is that you need to buy and hold your positions and make as much money as you can, 5%, 10%, whatever. But there are ways that you can take your profits with swing trading, day trading, or long-term investing. Doing all three is obviously something that you need in life, but you can take your profits with these swing trades. I'm primarily a swing trade or day trade person, so you're going to see me take my profits over 5 days, over a week, or over the same day, depending on what I see in the position. So for me, yes, you can say I'm going to take my profits, and I always have a profit target. Is there something bad with taking any profits? I believe that you will have a hard time from a lot of people because you don't want to hold the meme stocks. Yeah, I totally understand that. And I don't care about having, a hard time from all of the people. There's a lot of people out there that support the fact that you can make a profit and make some money out of the stock market, because it's amazing when you can make money short term versus making money long term. But yeah, I'm not saying that I'm going to hold the meme stocks like crazy. I'm going to hold them to gain a pretty decent profit out of it and then go on about my day, right? And then even if what I will do is I'll have a certain portion of it that is long term or longer term, not necessarily long term a year, but maybe a couple of months wherever it does pop. So like say I have 1,500 shares of AMC. I take out maybe 1,000 at my profit target and then keep 500 in there for that huge pop. Yeah, no one ever went broke taking profits. Exactly. But people definitely lose everything by holding on to a position. Especially if you invested at the top. If you're like, oh, well, you know what? I see it running up to $500 or $1,000 for GME, and you invested at $350. Now you pretty much lost everything when it dropped down. Well, not everything, but you lost about 30% of your money. Dropping down from 300 to 200. So the stock goes up and goes down. You can hold and be trading in the whole time. Yeah, 100%. Because a lot of times the stock is not going to, it's going to barely move based on your investment or you selling your position, but it will move based on institutions and hedge funds, pulling out of their positions or shorting positions. So a lot of times your normal activity is not going to affect the stock market unless you have millions of dollars. It's probably not going to affect it in much of a way. We do have 660 people in here, 666. Let's get that up a little bit, 667, because we don't want that 666 luck. There we go. And continue to hit that like button, get it above 300 likes. But with your mindset, you're happy with a $5 profit. Of course, I'm happy with. There are people out there that lose so much money. It depends on what it is. Obviously, I'm looking for, at least if I'm in a position, $100 profit. But any profit is a good profit. If you get up to that $100 profit and you somehow ride it on the way down and you get close to your break-even point, it should have been to a point where you had that $100 profit, so you missed your chance. If you take that $5 profit, then you're showing that you were not disciplined at the time. You tried to be greedy. So yes, there was a case where I was okay with a $3,000 loss because my strategy was to gain a profit, and I did not take that profit at a $2,000 gain, even though my profit target was only a $300 gain. So that's how you know that I was not disciplined at the time, basically penalizing myself, putting myself in timeout here. So I'd rather, be profitable and be up multiple times than, be down. If I'm up, a bunch of times where it's $5 and, I'm down one time, hopefully not a huge amount, right? That's a success. I can't even speak. That's a success. Yeah, I mean, wait, short-term profits, 32 capital gains tax. Yeah, the capital gains tax is going to be a lot higher with short-term profits. But the thing is that you have a better chance of, yes, you do have to pay out more in taxes, but you have not a better chance, but I guess you have a bigger chance of making more money. The more risk equals more reward, right? So you putting money out into the index funds gaining 10% will be a lot different than you trading every day. But gaining that 10% for you could be also gaining that 10% for someone that's a millionaire or billionaire. And, 10% of $1 million and 10% of $1,000 is a huge difference, right? Let the dummies hold till they die. I think you can hold, but I don't think you need to hold until you die or until it's completely over. You look at someone even as, what's Keith Gill? I can't remember his name. DFV. He ends up taking some profit. I think he took like $18 million worth of profit. Yes, he does have money in there, but either way, he's playing with house money. $18 million worth of profit is huge. I think he took that much. It was above $10 million worth of profit. I know that. And now I think he holds like $21 million worth of, we don't talk about tax. So I'm not saying that you completely take your profits. I'm just saying that you take some profits, secure the bag, and then you're able to invest into, all of this with house money. That's what I'm saying. All of these times to where it did go up to $14 or $15 and people getting, destroyed because they're called paper hands, even though they took their profit and put their money back in there, put the not all their money that they had, they took out their initial investment plus some profit and took some of their profit and invested lower. So they had the same amount of shares, but they're just playing with house money at this point. And they're labeled as paper hands for doing that. That's what I don't like, is the fact that they took a profit and were able to, play with house money at the time. Day trading can leverage your long-term investments. No debt if you learn and you have discipline. Exactly. There's a lot of people that will take some of their day trading profits or swing trading profits, especially if they're gaining like $2,000, $3,000 a week, and they'll put some aside because that's realized gain, so you need to pay taxes on it. And I know people don't like to talk about taxes here, but they'll take half of that and they'll put it into their long-term investments, or however much, and they'll put it into their long-term investments, probably 60% or so. And that'll be good. How am I doing? I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking over on TikTok. Let's see what, there's nobody, we got 3 people on Twitch. Thank you for watching on Twitch. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them. It'll probably take me a little bit to get to them because I try and switch back between YouTube and Twitch and TikTok as well. We have 762 people in here with 304 likes. That should be about 350 would be half. So I'll take that. 8.25% tax? No. For short-term tax is going to be like 30+%. I always like to hold 50% just because, one, it it creates that bonus. Then after you pay your taxes, you can put it in your long-term investments or whatever investments you want to put it into. And then you have extra capital in order to trade off of. Even though you know that it's going to be like 30%, it just makes it, I don't know, it just makes it feel better, in my opinion. New IPO. When is that supposed to be released here? Or when is it supposed to be? Ow, got a headache. Restaurant tech firm OLO shares soar 39% in IPO as online order surges. OPO prices above its target, valuing the company as high as $4.6 billion. I feel like they overvalue these new companies. Is it OLO? Yeah, OLO. Oh, remind me later. OLO is offering 18 million shares of its Class A common stock. The shares are expected to begin trading on the New York Stock Exchange March 17th. Was that 2 days ago? Okay. All right. So this is what I'm talking about here. I mean, you see a little bit of volatility here, but it does look like it remained flat. So where did it open? The initial open was $32. Let me go back to the 1 minute chart. So the initial open was $31.61. Did have some volatility here, which is something I like to see. But for IPOs, it's very tough to say because it did end up consolidating. I guess it did get back to $29.70, $29.36. So it has double touch points of the low, but I don't know where the true low is. It looks like it has a lot of fight in it. And with an IPO taking this much volatility means that it may have some negative price action here. Thank you for following. I appreciate it. Over on TikTok, I appreciate that a lot. Try and stream every day. So thank you. 798 people over on YouTube. Thank you for hitting that like button, getting it above 350. But now that we're at 800, you want to see it about half, so get it to like 400. If you guys want to join my Discord group, the link is pinned to the chat, also in the description. And for Twitch, I believe it's in the description there, wherever that is. I like Tesla. What happened with Tesla? Let's see. Tesla did something yesterday because I remember I wasn't really paying attention to a lot. $653, that's not bad. You can get a pretty decent gain out of that. But it did jump from 650 up to 668. I still think it could push 700. The only thing is like it's a high price to pay for how little gain you would get. I understand it may be a lot more longer term, but yeah, I would like to see them, at the $600 mark, not 650. I would like to see it at 600. When it was at 5 something, that was perfect. What screen recorder? I was gonna say what screen recorder am I using? What screen recorder am I using? I'm using the Streamlabs OBS. I also use the regular OBS when I'm just doing a regular screen record. Profit Hands Perry. Yep, that's what it's all about. Hey Matt, is the RSI most important thing to watch when looking in and out of a position? Yes. Yes, it's not the most important thing, but it's very important. So a lot of times in order to see whether it is going to have a pullback. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, so you have to factor in a lot of other things. But RSI will tell you if it is being overbought or oversold. So if you're at that point to where you know it's going to be like a pullback, then you can continue to watch this. But then you do have these false ones like this, like it is being oversold at the time, but you do have a little bit of a break. But any break up will start to readjust that RSI. So it's very tough to say whether it is going to have that full break and completely reverse to get back to where it was supposed to be. But I can definitely say the RSI is a very important piece, because if you were following the 15 moving average, you can say that, yeah, it is being oversold right here. And then you invest somewhere around where it is at 15 in the RSI. And then you probably can't see this because you're on TikTok, but you do invest somewhere around 15 where it's on the RSI, and then it starts to jump up and gets back to the 15 moving average. So that's not a bad deal, and even gets back a little bit higher, gets back to the 200 EMA. So yeah, I can say that it's an important piece. I use it a lot. I didn't use it too much in the past. I would mainly just go with the bounce, but I use it, and it definitely factors in pretty well. The only thing is that the more you look at, the more you get distracted, and the more likely you can miss your entry point and your exit point. So I don't like to factor in too many things, because if I start looking at the 15 moving average, looking at a 30 moving average, or look whatever moving average I can look at every single point and try and see where it's going to pull back to or anything like that, I could miss my exit point or my entry point. And I don't want to deal with that. So I try and look at as little things as possible. I would say 3 most important things for me are the 200 EMA, the 15 moving average or 20 moving average, and then the RSI. So hopefully that helps. That text is small, and anytime I have like white on, I can't see anything. So like if I put the white over the words, I can't see the damn thing. You're welcome. How do I get RSI on Webull? So if you go up to the top here where you have indicators, if you click this little icon that looks like a stock price going up, you click that and it's RSI right here. It'll pop up right below the chart. So right now, if you look at AMC and Rocket, it's pretty much close to a wash for like loss and gain. I need to make sure Rocket gets a boost here, and pun intended. Oh, we are at 400 likes. Thank you everybody for getting me to the 400 like mark. I appreciate that. You guys are amazing. If you want to join Webull, make sure you hit that link in the description. Sign up, deposit $100. You'll get free stocks. I'll also get a kickback as well. I'll get free stocks. So it's a win-win for everybody. How relevant is the pre and post market? I think it's pretty relevant. It's just not something that has a high amount of volume. But it can move the stock price a lot, which does not make any sense to me. But I guess, it's the markets. That's just how it works. So you look at the after hours and the pre-market, you may see a gap up from where we've seen the after hours end and the pre-market begin, because you've seen a crazy amount of volatility, a crazy amount of people that wanted to buy into the price. They seen the volume go up, and they're like, all right, I'll set my limit orders. You set all your limit orders, and then they all get filled at one moment once the market or once the pre-market opens. So I can say that it makes a difference, because if the price jumps up a crazy amount, then you could see that fall off. So the only thing is that it doesn't have the normal amount of volume, so you can't take it to heart. You can't say, oh, the pre-market looks amazing or the pre-market looks horrible, and then think that the overall market's going to go that way. We've seen a number of days where the pre-market looked absolutely horrendous, where it was like 4% down, 5% down for everything, and then all of a sudden when the market opened, or right before the market opened, we got back up to break even, and then when the market opened, it jumped up. So like it doesn't tell you anything when you look at the overall volume and how many people are buying it, because you don't see the true number of people that want to buy into the position, just because a lot of people don't have access to trading in the after hours market. And even if they do, you have to set limit orders, so it's very predictable for some people. I guess for hedge funds, they know all the orders that are coming in. Pre-market used to be fun, now it's dead. Yeah, it did, because the pre-market used to jump up. It would go from, like, say, GME would go from like 350 to like 450 or 500, and it's like, what in the world happened here? So the thing you do need to understand about the pre-market and post-market is that you can still make a decent profit out of the pre-market and post-market. If the pre-market ends up jumping up, 700% or 100% or whatever, you can get or take out your profits. The only thing is that it's going to be more tricky if you have a lot of shares. So you obviously have to set your limit orders, and it takes its time to fill. Can't stay long, just wanted to drop some positivity. Thank you for that. I appreciate anybody stopping by. Make sure you hit that like button. That does help out a ton. We are now across 830 concurrent viewers. So thank you for watching. 2 viewers over on TikTok. Thank you everybody for joining over there. Make sure you send some likes. And we have, let's see, on Twitch. We have 5 people on Twitch. What's the benefit of using multiple bikers? Multiple bikers? Do you mean like tickers? Ticker symbols? Oh, multiple brokers. Okay, that was the next message. Bikers. The benefit of using multiple brokers is that, especially if you don't have a lot of money in there, and you want to day trade or swing trade, and you see an opportunity that's short term, it's better to be able to have your money in multiple brokers so that you can make those trades, because you only can make 3 trades, and then you get labeled as a pattern day trader. So that's a great way of doing it. Also, if you get restricted in one, just like we were getting restricted in Robinhood, you get restricted in one, you're able to trade in another, because they do allow you to trade it. Like for Webull, you couldn't buy into AMC, you couldn't do it for Robinhood, but you could do it for Fidelity to a certain extent. I did get stopped out, from making a trade. I think it might have been like 1,000. No, it was like 500 shares, I believe. But then I was able to do a trade of like 200. So it just depends. But if they do restrict trading, or they have some sort of halt, or whatever, obviously if they have a halt, it's going to be across all platforms. But you know what I mean. If they have something that the platform wants to stop, then other platforms will actually make it happen. So there's a lot of benefits to trading on multiple brokers. I have a number of brokerage accounts. Is this blurry? It looks blurry. Looks like it's like 100p. No, it looks good. It looks okay. Now we almost have 500 likes. Make sure you continue to hit that like button. Carl, don't jump up here. Don't. Not today. Well, not now at least. Later. I do need to download a program for the stock market. Yeah, you definitely do. They're all free. I know in the past, I used to hate it. In the past, and I don't say I really hate anything, but let's see what this is doing. So we're at 1430 for AMC, which is a great deal. Let's see if we can continue on that route. Carl, I just said no. Come on, man. Yeah, so it looks like we're on a good route here. Let him jump. He's going to press everything on the keyboard, and then he's going to end up closing out of the stream. So I have a number of times where he stomps on every single key, like doesn't even care about it at all. I think I was saying something about, can't remember what it was. Matt started watching January, Monday through Friday since without knowing anything about stocks, but watching you analyzing so many stocks day by day has taught me so much, and I've applied it to make profit. That's awesome, Yam. That is awesome. That's great to hear. I'm glad that you love my content. I'll continue to make it as people, continue to love it. So if you enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button. I try and hit the like button on anybody that I watch. I try and support them and, hit that like button and comment and all that. And you're doing everything to help out the algorithm. So thank you. That's what I'm here for, is really just to help people make profits, because there are a lot of people out there that are pushing the wrong narrative. I understand that we need to hold, but to an extent. Like, take your profits if you can take your profits, leave some money in there to support the cause, but leave house money and, take out your initial investment plus a little bit of profit for you, and everything else will be playing with house money. It makes sense to do it that way. That's exactly what DFV did. And if you want to follow that, it's not saying literally hold on for dear life. Carl, no, man. It's not literally saying hold on for dear life, but it's saying, like, hold on till you make like a pretty decent profit to where you can basically get the same amount of shares at a lower cost. You know what I mean? And just make it, like, it has to be smart on your part. We hit 500 likes. Thank you, everybody, for getting me to 500 likes. Carl likes Zom. He might. I don't know. We'll see. I'll ask about the Carl's calls in the Discord group next week, and then we'll pick another stock. We'll also do an update on what Carl's investment is doing, how much he's up, and we can go from there. Matter of fact, I need to put some money into Fidelity so that we have some things for Carl. I can't. Okay? I can't, man. You're gonna press every key and you're gonna stick your butthole in my face, and it's not good. I swear, this cat, man. All right, I lost where I was. Come on, man. I lost the live stream data. There we go. All right, 887 people. We have 524 likes. What about RKT? Just let Carl trade. He wants to tell us something. For RKT, I like the fact that they are up 1%, but I did not see, I thought the low of that low, I understand that $23 I think was the lowest point, but this might be the lowest point out of, the last few, not few months, I guess a few weeks. Carl, I don't understand, man. I really don't. I keep putting you down. It's not happening. Not today. This is just like a stream of Carl jumps on the table and I put him on the floor. I don't understand. But yeah, I didn't know if this was the lowest point. Let's see. It was pretty low, obviously, before, but since that that happened, what's the lowest point here? So it looks like the lowest point is where it was yesterday at $23.01. That doesn't look like the best price action. So for me, obviously, I'm lowering my cost average and continuing to lower my cost average until I can see some sort of positivity here. It's looking like it's decreasing, but I do still have faith in the position. And you want to see that 15 moving average cross over the 200 EMA. So maybe a couple of days. But as I continue to lower my cost average, as it's this low and it starts to, stay at a level of 25 to 28 or 25 to 27, if I can lower that to 27, then that'll be a good deal there. But it's something that I'm looking at as a position that's now just constantly decreasing here. But we'll hold on, we'll lower the cost average, and we'll end up making a profit. But I would say that I would love to lower that to 27, 26, and then see that profit up to $30 so that I can make a decent amount. Do you think the next 2 weeks AMC could jump to 25? Yes, without manipulation, 100%. I think it could it could have jumped to 20 this week without having a down market, without the Fed speaking. We actually had kind of flat days, and hopefully today we'll see that positive day with the quadruple witching, with the increased volatility, with our normal volume, which is pretty high to begin with, and hopefully we don't see any, shorting action. So the cat obviously wants to place some orders. Yes, Carl does want to place some orders. I know he's into trading. AMC, we're not leaving. 4,200. Wait, you have 4,200 invested, or you're waiting until it gets to 4,200? That candle, like current candle right now. Yeah, went from $14 to $14.40. Yeah, that's a huge candle, huge movement, huge. But we are still sitting at 14.24. I hope that we see some really positive movement. It looks really flat. Fridays don't tend to be the best days for trading. They tend to be flat, tend to be like down a little bit. Oh, I'm holding to 4,200. That's a lot. And no shame in taking profits. Justin, I'm out at 100. Yeah, you're out completely, or are you doing any type of like, I don't know what to call it, like staggered profit taking? Let's call it that. Are you taking profits on the way up, or are you literally just taking profits at 100? Because I guarantee you, if it does end up pushing to 100, you're not going to see it just like push to 100. It might be something that ends up, pushing up to 25, pulling back to 20, pushing up to 30, pulling back to, I don't know, 25 or whatever, and continuing on that route. And does Tyler like Carl? Who is Tyler? Oh, you're doing something staggered? Okay. That's good. Morning, Matt. Hope you had a great B-Day. I did. It was really good. Really surprising. I usually don't get surprised. And we went to Topgolf, went out to lunch, and got a bunch of gifts that I didn't expect. Matt, could please prepare people just in case not much happens with this quadruple witching. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm looking to do, is prepare people for another letdown, because we've had a number of days where we're like, oh, we have these options expiring, we should see a lot of volume and all of this stuff, and I understand the thought behind it. It makes sense, but I don't want to prepare people for something that's not going to happen. And I'm not saying like we won't see increased volatility, we won't see something that's going to push the stock price up, but I'm not so sure that we'll see a crazy amount of volume that'll push it all the way up to $20 today. And if it does, I mean, that's good, but I want to prepare you for what could be the worst case scenario, and that is another decreased day. So I think it's going to be a positive day, but the pre-market doesn't really tell you much. You can see that everything is positive, but things could take a turn for the worse literally halfway through the day if that's what we were thinking. I believe that it could do that. It has done that before. So just make sure you understand that yes, we will see a lot of volatility, a lot of volume, but I don't want to say that the stock price is going to increase crazy. This is why you still see me see a realistic target of $15, and then people say, "Why only $15? Today is the day." Well, don't make it seem like today is the day. Just make it a normal day, and anything that we do have as an increase, it makes it an abnormal day. It makes it a little bit different than everything else. I got $100. What should I buy? Let's see. It depends what you're looking for. Are you looking for a short-term gain or a longer-term gain? And not like long-term, in like maybe a couple of months. Let's see what you're saying. Same thing. What cologne do you use? I use Usher cologne. Is this financial advice? No, it's not financial advice. It's merely just my opinion. I haven't said that for a while, actually. Hopefully I don't get investigated for insider trading. Not financial advice. Like I've been telling people, I like what Ride has to offer. Not looking at any news or anything, just looking at history. In my opinion, I really like Ride as a swing trade. It did have double touch points to where it did fight back. If it truly fights back and you see, increase in the stock price, the volume, all of that stuff, then you're really going to see that. So I'm waiting for a launching point to tell me when this is actually taking off, because it might still hit a new low depending on what the market does. The market looks like it's going to be positive, but it could be negative, could be a complete turn. So I'm looking at this and waiting for a launching point. Now, this could be a point to where it is going to, I don't know where, oh, it is there. The 1280 mark was a previous low way back when. Literally, when you got to this low, it was a previous low. So that could be the lowest point that you could see, going all the way up to $30. So pretty much doubling your money easily with a longer term solution. So you can see that this movement was over a month. This movement right here, all the way to, well, I guess this movement right here to, let's see, November to the end of November. So you've seen this movement in a month. You've seen this drop and then this movement in 2 months. So it may take a little bit. I think that this might be more of a larger increase, but I'm looking for a couple of touch points here, not even to double the money, really just to push up to about $20, maybe double it. So I guess 24. I bought VCEL. Made 600%. That's amazing. That's amazing. Over these last few months, it had a massive increase. These are always a great deal. And yes, you won't get a long-term, you won't be paying long-term capital gains tax on this. But yeah, I mean, it depends when you actually invest it in, but you can still make a really decent profit over a number of months, back from September or August all the way up until now, or hitting it at a point to where you did see it start to decrease in February. So you can make a pretty decent profit there. RKT for a 30-day play. I think PLTR has close to a launching point, but let's look at RKT because I do see a little bit of potential in there, but not as much. The problem is that right now, even though it is a heavily shorted position, or was a heavily shorted position, I actually haven't checked in recently, you're not seeing a ton of movement upward. You're seeing a lot of downward movement, which is the same thing that we've seen with AMC for a while. So let's look at AMC here. We've seen this for a number of weeks to where it was that decreased right from where it did have that increase over here from like $13, and we've seen all of that decrease and stay flat around $5 until it took off one of these days, which is a great deal and great thing to compare it to, because it doesn't look like it's a true pump and dump. It does look like it held a little bit up here, but then started to flatten out, continued to flatten out. So I think we could see some really good positivity. I just want to lower my cost basis. So something that's at that $23 mark, I believe $23 was where like the low, this is the low of the last, I guess, month or so, because I bought in somewhere around here, because and the initial buy-in point was $33 on the way down, and it did have some fight in it. That's why I bought it at $33, thinking that the low was 32, or the lowest point was 32. And then it obviously dropped down some more, continued to lower my cost basis, and down to 28 at the moment. It did get up to $28 before, $28.67, so it does have the potential to get back up there. The issue is that the last couple of days have been dropping down pretty significantly. So I do see this as more of an opportunity, the $23 mark, but I'm probably going to be able to lower my cost basis to like 26 or 25 maybe. Very Matt, yin and yang. CEO of PLTR says long term. I think PLTR looked pretty decent as well. You can see that I think this changed a little bit. It should have been on that upward trajectory and could have been a decent swing trade, or you can had long term and pushed above that $45 mark, but it looks like it really resisted against there. Had a couple of touch points at 30, 35, 36. So seeing that, I was hoping for that to have a retest of that $35 mark, or even just have a retest of $30. So where it's sitting at now, or where it was at the low of $20, people thought that this was a launching point, and I did too. But seeing those down days we've seen in the market, it wasn't really the best day possible, or the best situation possible. And now it's starting to break even below that mark. So seeing these touch points here, come on. Seeing these touch points here makes it on a trajectory, or puts it on a trajectory of that route. So let's take this out. Yeah, so instead of it having that true launching point all the way up, and maybe this could be a false break, and it will get to that low again, have that double touch point, and then jump up, create that W, and then jump up. So we'll see exactly what's happening chart-wise. News-wise, it probably has a lot more into it than I'm factoring into it, but I do see it as potential. $14.20. So $14.20, a good buy. Where AMC is, I think it's an okay buy. I don't think it's a good buy. Because if you're looking to gain a shorter term profit, then No. This is where it ends up being tough because I don't want people to buy into a price that's a little bit higher on the higher side, right? We do seem to be sitting steady at like that between 13 and 14. So it's not something where I could say, oh, it's going to drop down to, $7 again, which it could possibly do. But I'm not saying that it's going to drop down to $7 again. I'm seeing that it is staying steady around that $14 mark, $13 mark. It did drop to a low, I think, of like $9 at one point, but I think that was a while ago. But jumped up to $14.87. Is it still a buy at $14.20? It depends. It depends what you really want to do with it. I don't want to give anybody financial advice. This is all merely just my opinion. But you can get a great buy, especially since it is going to go to 20, or a good buy since it is going to go to 20. But if it doesn't end up pushing to that $100 mark, you're not going to get something of a crazy gain like everybody else is getting. But you will see a gain. It could still be a good buy at 14, 20 and go up to 20 and gain $6 out of it. So let's go with yes. People are loading up on the level 2s at 1450. Let's see. We see a lot of people willing to buy at $14. 1440. We have 4,000. It looks like it's pretty well placed. You have 1,000 orders here, 1,000 orders there, 1,000 orders. 1449. We have 1,000 orders of sell orders. 1448, we have 2,000 sell orders, and we have a sell order. We have 2 sell orders at $200. It's always funny seeing those. All right, so we have about an hour and 15 minutes or so until the market opens. We have 926 people in here. If you can continue to that like button. Remember, if you guys want to random dude on the computer. If you guys want to join the Discord group, the link is in the description. It's also in the chat. It's pinned to the chat. Let's see what they're talking about over there. Thank you, Abu, for. Is it Abu? I don't know how to say that. But thank you for joining the Discord group. I appreciate that. It's a great group of people. Is Carl trying to buy or sell? That's funny. Yes, that group is great. Carl gives the advice here. Matt is the entertainment. Yep, he definitely does. He picks some great. All he does is sleep and pick stocks. That's pretty much it. And he might dream about those stocks. I took the day off. Well, hopefully we see some good movement here. 923 people here. Oh man, so tired. Well, actually, I got pretty good sleep. Pretty good sleep yesterday, so it wasn't bad. Way better than what I did the day before. I think I got like 3 hours or something. So. I think they will keep running. That looks like a pump to me. It looks like a true pump to me. Do I think they will keep running? No. Can they keep running? Possibly. But I wouldn't say no. At this point, you would be chasing it. If you're in it, then definitely see where that pullback is going to be. Yeah, definitely see where that pullback is going to be. For some reason, I got confused with these numbers. Get out of your position. It looks like it had a heavy pullback. I can't speak. It had a heavy pullback from here, from that $4.61 mark down to $3.13 or 14 cents. So if you're in it, you had a pretty massive pullback, which indicates that it's going to have more of a downward swing here. So how's check doing? I don't know. From what I've seen, it looks like check was just a pump and dump. It didn't have a crazy drop down that I thought it was going to have in one day or in the same day, but it is consistently dropping down. You do have a couple of days where it stayed flat, maybe showing some buying power where people are into it, but I don't see them as an opportunity to grow from there. I just see them as a price that will get back down to $1.30. Probably even lower than that. Looks like it got to, yeah, it had a massive jump in December, then leveled out and really fought back and forth at this level, and then had another jump. So it might get back to $1.40. Might get back to only $1. It looks like it has hit these lows before, or it has hit these prices before, not lows, in other highs. So it's definitely a little tough to say, but in my opinion, I think it's just a pump. What's Ride doing? Ride is up to $13.02. So like I said, with the next couple of days, I want to see how Ride is doing, where it can get to. If it does make a little bit of a move up, and I see that launching point, then yes, I will look to get in. It was being oversold at this point, which could be the low of the low. It got to 1280 before and bounced off of 1280 in a pretty big way, and hopefully we can see that same movement. Let's see what my account looks like. $46. Well, that sucks. I guess I can buy into a couple of shares, but I got money that's going in there. I got about $4,000 that's going in there, and probably in a couple of days I'm gonna put an extra like 13,000 in Webull. So we have 886 people. Continue to hit that like button. Get it to 886 likes. No, 700 likes would be good. It's 630 right now. AMC to the effing moon. If AMC was to short squeeze, what price do you think it would reach? Easily 200, 300. If it was the short squeeze, it can get to the same levels as GME, if not higher. If it was to completely short squeeze, yes. But I don't think it's completely out of the cards. But I do think that it's something that could. I don't think that's a saying. Is that a saying? I don't think it's completely off the table. But I would say that it's highly unlikely that it will happen. We could see a massive push up to highs of probably $100 or maybe even $200. And there's a case to say that it could get to 2,000, but that's with all variables going the right direction. So I would say a squeeze potential, yes, $500, $1,000 is definitely possible. But with a massive push, $50, $100 is something that's more realistic, which is still huge, right? I'm thinking of something halfway between that. Obviously, I'm looking for it to hit 20 so I can take out some profits, take out my initial investment, and probably just keep the profits in there. Or take out a pretty large chunk of profit so that I can put those in Webull as well. Don Dizzle, you keep putting these ticker symbols that have been overused in the chats. Would you slap a kid for AMC? The moon? No, I wouldn't slap a kid for AMC. No shorts available. No shorts available at all? No, you're good. You're good. It's been overused at this point. It's funny, but it's been overused at that point. That's the only reason. Someone did get me with it before. Um, but yeah, it's been overused there. Um, please explain. oh, Please explain your Discord group. Explain it. So mainly for my Discord group right now, we have 3 channels. One, we talk about AMC. Another one that's only for the Profit Hands group, any of the Profit Hands members. So we can talk about Carl's calls. We can talk about any of the weekly swing trades or dividends as well. We can talk about all that stuff. But we have a general area to where we obviously talk about a lot of different stocks, a lot of different opportunities. And as we start to grow, we'll continue to grow it into different channels. And I priced it at $5 just so that we don't have, you know, I don't know, 20,000 people join or whatever, just to be able to get a lot of information and have those ins and outs to where you have people that have recognizable faces and don't have recognizable faces. So I priced it at a starting point of $5. But if you are at that lower level, you won't be in the Profit Hands group or Profit Hands channel to where you can talk about Carl's calls and get into those positions because that's going to be, it's been fun so far. So we'll be able to see those updates and see what the gains will be. But yeah, the Discord group is really great group of people. So far, they talk about a lot of different things. And some people know about things that I don't know about, whether it's like options or some other forms of long-term investing if they wanted to. But yeah, that's pretty much it at the moment. And it probably will grow from there and develop into other things. But as we start to gain these conversations, we'll understand where they could branch off to. So that's my Discord group as a whole. If you want to join the Discord group, the link is pinned to the chat, and also it's in the description. So good stuff. How's Carl's calls been doing? He's been doing pretty good. The only call that he made so far, and we're gonna do another call next week. So it's gonna be every other week. We'll do another call, and we'll hold on to those positions and see how we do long term. And then if it does well, we'll continue it. And maybe if you see stocks that are doing better than you thought, you can make some more investments into it as time goes on. So it's not going to be something to where you just do one initial investment. Right now, it'll be where you start with this initial investment. Can you make money off of that initial investment? If it's like 10 shares or 5 shares or 100 shares or whatever, and then grow from there. Can you make money off that investment long term? Is he going to do better than how an index fund will do? Maybe not. Can he gain more than 15%? Why is UPST? I just talked about this earlier. So did I talk about this earlier? Yes, I did. So let's go to, did I talk about this earlier? I swear I did. Oh, yes, I did. Because it jumps from like that $60 mark up to, $124. I don't know why it is up. It does look like a pump and dump to me. The thing that we did see was this increase over this day. It did flatten out, and we've seen this increase here. And maybe it's not a true pump and dump. It could be a point to where it just has that increase, but either way, I think you missed it. You can't sit here and think that, oh, I'm going to get into this at, $112, even though the high was $124, and we don't even know why it jumped from, 83 to 124. And maybe there's some news behind it that I'm not factoring in, but I'm just looking at the chart and understanding, short-term investments and trying to gain a profit. I wouldn't look at this as a profit gainer because it already gained a profit. It's over. And it truly might not be over. You might see it jump to 200 if you really believed in it. But at this moment, it would be chasing the position for most people. And you do not want to look at something like this. Oh, it gained 89% over the last day, and now I want to get into this. It's like, well, 89% over one day is huge. You could see a large drop here of the same magnitude. So, yeah. That's where I stand with it. Are underperforming stocks recommended? For the most part, if you see something that's at the low, yeah, that's typically where you want to get in. So yes, underperforming stocks, not underperforming stocks, because obviously you want to see the movement. But like I said, with something like let's see, where's Ride? With something like a Ride, I want to see what, that the fact that it is underperforming for the last however many days or weeks, you're going to see that looking at 6 months, you see that it's been underperforming for a while now, right? It's been dropping for a while now, but looking this as potential, and I do see this as potential, you could see, $12.80 that it did hit of a low and then bounced off of that. And now you're seeing the same thing of $12.80, which could see a bounce. Now, I want to see that bounce before I get into it. I'm not going to be a person that gets into it at this low because it did hit the previous low. I want to see it bounce off and maybe have a pretty decent positive day before I can get into it, because I'll get into it and maybe like $14 and then drive that up to other touch points of like 18 or 22 or 30 or whatever. But yeah, underperforming stocks tend to be recommended from me, at least, if you see the potential based on history, and if and only if. If you don't see any potential based on history, it doesn't make sense to get into a position that's underperforming, because it might be something that dropped from, it might be a pharmaceutical company that dropped from like $20,000 to where they opened at and down to like $2. That's not. There's a better chance of hitting 3P than 3K? What? Okay. Well, that's not nice. Would do. AMC will ever go back up to $30 per share? A minute for the long haul. $30. Will it ever go back up to $30 per share? Like I've said, I mean, it was falling down for a while now. So it wasn't something that was just like, oh, well, it was at, what was that, $1.91 for a reason. I mean, down in that, what's it called? COVID, that whole thing. So if we look at, I don't want to look at that. I want to look at something. We'll look at the day. All right, so we can go back. I don't even know how many. This is back in 2020. We can see that we were up to $7 or so around January of 2020, right? This is where I was talking about where people were like, oh, well, you know what? The stock is worth $5. No, it's definitely worth $10 at best. but you did have a point to where it was at $10, all the way up to $17, all the way up to $20.70. Even back as far as $30, right? That was a while ago, 2016, right? 2016 is where it was at $30. Now, yes, it could go back there. You just need a change up of the actual like business plan and what they're doing. But yeah, it could stay steady at 30 if if they end up changing things and obviously end up collecting more revenue, having more revenue, limiting expenses, paying off debt, all the things that they're trying to do right now. I feel like they can end up sustaining that stock price. I don't want everyone to get their hopes up or down today. Set your own limits, but my opinion aligns with yours today. Today will be green. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, like I said, I believe that it will be a pretty good day. We'll hopefully get up to that $15 mark. I think we should reach $15 today, but I'm not going to sit here and get my hopes up for $100 today just based on, this quadruple witching combined with our volume, and hopefully they don't short or do these ladder attacks. But yeah, I would agree with you there. It is at 14.16. Got to a high of, very quickly got to a high of 14.40, I believe, over the pre-market. Yeah, 14.40. Hopefully we can see something really good today. I know it tends to push back from what I seen yesterday. It pushed back at a number of levels. Really didn't want to push past, I would have loved to see it push past 15, but it just didn't want to make those gains. You did see a little bit of an increase yesterday, but I think we're going to see a little bit more of an increase today. Even though Fridays tend to be down, I think that's going to be the case. GameStop is not really doing much right now, down to 202. Obviously, I invested in them at 240, so I want to see them break the 240 mark. And I think they will. It's just not having the same amount of volume that it typically has. So we have to see how the actual market volume is, which we could see some delayed volume for GME and AMC. But I think the initial point for both of these, you're probably going to see it drop down a little bit. We have about an hour until the market opens, which I am extremely tired. So get Carl some treats. I'll get him some treats. He's over there just staring at me. No. If I look at him for too long, he comes over here. Thank you for the super chat, Jason. It's been, please share some realistic thoughts on GME. It's been sideways. Yeah, GME has been a little bit tough to deal with when it comes to the price action. Now, the good thing is that if it is sideways, there's fight, because I don't believe GME's real stock price, real value is up in that the $201 mark, right? But you see that it does have the fight. The only thing is that I don't really know exactly what they're doing to drive the stock price down, because people are still holding. There's a lot of people that are holding. Some people are actually taking profits from what I've heard. A number of people around me, I've talked to them and asked them, hey, you're investing in GME. What did you do with, what's your opinion on it? And they're like, well, I'm not invested in it anymore. I sold at like 250 or something like that. I took my profits and got out because I could find more potential in other things at the moment. And it just depends what situation you're in. If you've been holding for a long time and you feel like 40 to 200 is good and you don't want to deal with it dropping down to 40 again and then jumping up to 300, because I think this is going to be a never-ending train. It's going to keep moving up, down, up, down, up, down, consolidating at higher and higher points. until you end up having the hedge funds completely give up or retail traders completely give up. So looking at these positions, looking at GameStop, it's great to see them jump and have that increase, but it's been, like you said, it's been sideways for the last couple of days, which is a positive and a negative. Seeing that strength, seeing the strength at 240 to 280 or so is definitely a great deal. But people that invested at these points, you know, above 300, they obviously didn't make, you know, the best of it there. You know, seeing that long wick to $348 really just shows that people kind of just sold off at that point. I understand these are 2-hour candlesticks, but we look at it a realistic point of 305 from 240 to $305. It definitely showed strength there, right? But this decrease obviously is deflating. I still think it definitely has potential to continue to increase. It just needs those days. It needs to pump the volume into it, which you might see volume shift. It might have shifted from AMC, from GME to AMC. People might have said, oh, well, you know what? GME had most of its potential, so I'm going to go ahead and get into AMC now. So that could be an issue. You could also have an issue of people just getting into other positions and driving the price action up based on what Wall Street Bets does. So it's just really a lack of volume that's keeping it flat. But soon these days will change. I think next week you'll probably see a better day, or better week actually, because that's why I'm still holding my 2 shares at 240, is because I still believe that they could push up to 280 or 300. And going lower obviously makes it more of an opportunity for me to buy in, but I want to see where that true low point is in order to make any more investments there. What's the potential risk of AMC and GME in your opinion? The potential risk is pretty high. You know, I know that both of them can skyrocket, right? Both of them can make huge moves, but the risk is huge to where you're investing at these high points and losing everything on the way down. Like, you look at where GME was before all of this, before anybody started investing. Let's say it was $14. I understand it was less than that when people really started to get into it, but let's say, you know, it was around that $14 mark or so. Is it going to get back to $14? Is it going to be something that we look at as a $14 position? Thank you for the super chat, Ironhead Rick, the super sticker. I appreciate that a lot. I will keep it up. It's like a pair working out. Pretty cool. But will it get back to that point? Is it something that we're going to expect it to get back to that point? It seemed like $30 and $40 was really where it was going to, it did consolidate at. Like, it did get back to. You've seen that pump all the way up, and then obviously the ladder attacks and the hedge fund shorting the heck out of this brought this down. People getting scared a little bit brought it back down. And you may see the same thing here. It's not something that completely dropped down, but you might see it end up getting to a point to where it drops back down to $30 or $40, and then you see the same thing over again. It's gonna be over and over and over again. Some people are gonna continue to get tired as it does happen. But I think that's probably gonna take a while for that to happen. We're gonna see a little bit of a push next week, in my opinion. AMC though, AMC's up from where it was. Carl, if you don't stop licking my leg, please. I can't. Please, go sleep. Go over there and sleep, man. I love you, but you just, this cat just licks me. He's a dog. I swear he's a dog at heart. We almost have 1,000 people in here. If you guys can hit that like button, continue to get more people in here. Let's see if anybody else joined the Discord group. If we can, somebody did join. Magic Trash. Thank you for joining the Discord group. At Magic Trash. Welcome. let's put you down. Carl. Ugh. You can't jump up here. You're getting fur everywhere. Yeah, thank you, Magic Trash, for joining the Discord group. Let's see. No, not keep it up, Carl. We're not gonna have Carl up here. You're only here for Carl. Does Carl pay tax? If not, that might be a loophole. That's funny. No, he doesn't pay taxes. But what? But I sold my AMC and now I want back in? What is people thinking that I sold my AMC? I still have all of my AMC. Well, not all of it. I took out some profits up at $14 before, and put that into GME. But I sold GME, I didn't sell AMC, and now I'm back in GME. Not to a crazy extent, not to the same level that I was before, but I am in it. How about that hitting 45-ish all-time high last night? I didn't see that. Give Carl the mic. Yeah, let's see. Give me a second. Carl. You gotta meow. You gotta use your voice. Wait, what? What? All right. Well, that's all he got. We have 951 people in here. Continue to hit that like button. Get it above 800 likes. It'll be amazing. What is the 1,000-foot view? So I always say like a 10,000-foot view or a 100,000-foot view. Let's look at it at a higher scale. So obviously we want to look at it over a year's time, look at it over 6 months time or 3 months time, or current day or current week. I'll say like different views as they start to get larger, but I try and pin it to a certain view. So like 3 months will be a 10,000-foot view. 6 months will be a 100,000-foot view. Let's look at the 500,000-foot view. So I'll say things like that just to be able to look at it from a larger scale here to see what the history is. So that's why I like to say that. Oh, but that's why. Carl, what are you doing, man? What's your exit strategy on AMC? I was around $13, just debating on selling at 20 or 25. So for me, I plan on taking out a portion of the initial investment and some of the profits. So let's say, honestly, the Tyler Perry jokes are corny. Yeah, understood. But come on, Carl. I can't. Why do you keep doing this? Why? He just wants love. But yeah, where was I at? Where's my profit target? So yeah, my profit target is basically that $20 mark, to where I'll take out a decent portion of it, and then keep some in there. But then if it does go lower, I'll reinvest everything that I had into a lower point, so that, you know, it does increase. So if it gets to $20 and instantly pulls back, you'll see me take profits, but then I'll get in the lower that it goes, and hopefully you can see one of those bear traps so it goes really low, so that I can take my profits and then put a lot more into there, but still risking basically the same amount, if that makes sense. So I would be risking my initial investment at that moment, but I would be able to invest in like 1,000, 2,000 more shares, you know. So that would be my ideal situation. So yeah, he's leaving at 1790. Why so specific? Good plan. Thank you. I have 7 shares of AMC at $12.89. If buying now 2 shares, you think will be a good place? That's tough, because that'll raise your cost average. If you have 7 shares at $12.89, buying now would obviously raise your cost average. 2 shares would be a large percentage of shares that you do own. So I wouldn't say it would be bad, because you would definitely gain something out of it by, you know, having more shares and gaining more dollars as it goes up. But I never tell people to raise their cost average, unless they know it's going to go up, they're looking to gain a little bit more profit before they sell, then yes. But if it's not something that is doing that, it doesn't really make total sense to do that, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. You do what's best for you. If you feel as though you can gain something out of it, everybody has their own strategy. My strategy is different than your strategy, and it shouldn't be the same. You can implement some of the same things that I look at in your strategy, but it can't be exactly the same. So a lot of people will want to know what my profit target is. I haven't hit a single ad in this whole entire thing. I had to add. I'll wait 5 seconds. So a lot of people want to know my profit target, but my profit target should be a little bit different than your profit target. Thinking about throwing some more fun money into SLGG. What did it look like to you? Let's see, SLGG. Some more fun money into SLGG. Over the last couple of days, it's been looking like you've seen a pretty good increase from $5 to a high of $10. That looks really good. Carl, I swear, man, after the stream is over, you can be up here. But not now. You're just gonna step on everything. I definitely see that it did have a pretty good increase. Let's look at the 10,000 foot view. So from a certain point, you can see that it did have a pretty substantial increase, up to $10, down from $3 or so. And that looks like something that is, constantly spiking on the way up, which is really good. So at the current price and the movement today, I'm not sure that it will be the best bet. I do want to see a little bit of a pullback, which I guess at this point you did see a pullback below $10. If you're just playing with fun money, you can definitely make a good $2-3 from this easily short term, and I think you could make a little bit more because it retested this point at $8 or so, right? Or even come on, over. I can't even check where it is. It retested at $9.64, right? So that point, passing that point is definitely a great deal, meaning that it has buying strength. So on the way up, you could see 10, 12, $12 from this, just looking at history and looking at the chart, the price action. So it looks like it has a lot of buying strength, a lot of buying opportunities there. So this may be a point to where it is at its low point, because it doesn't seem like it pulls back to the 200 EMA. It just pulls back a little bit. So it pulls back from $7 down to $5, from $10 down to $8. So that may be that low point until it does move up to like $11 or $12, in my opinion. But it looks good. It's quadruple witching day. The cats like witches. Yeah, don't get your hopes up for everything to be like to absolutely skyrocket. But it's great to talk about this stuff and just get an understanding of all this stuff. But we're going to see the increased volume. We're probably not going to see something that's crazy. I want to make sure it's realistic. We're probably not going to see something absolutely crazy. It may be compared to some of the high days that we've seen in volume. If we see we see lower volume here, we should see higher volume. But if we see lower regular volume here, it might end up doubling to that point, and it might look like our normal like high volume of like 200 plus million shares or so, because the average is around 165 million. So anything really above that is high volume, but we could also see high volume on the opposite side of a down day. So don't get your hopes up that it will be a positive day. Everything looks positive. I still think it could hit 15 today, but we just have to see exactly how this all plays out in the open when we see the actual volume, the day volume, not just the pre-market volume where we have limit orders and stuff like that. We are at 800 likes. Thank you for getting me to that point. It's amazing. You guys are amazing. Guys and gals are amazing. Carl doesn't like AMC play. Is that why he keeps jumping up here? Wait for drop to buy SLGG. The thing is I don't really see a drop in the cards for SLGG. Let's go back to recently viewed. I don't really see a drop in the cards there. I understand you can see this larger increase, but over the last couple of days, I haven't really seen a true drop. Yes, I think you will see some sort of a pullback, but I don't think it'll be as massive as this. You see how it tested that point, but the fact that it retested and surpassed it usually means that it has a lot of buying strength and less selling strength. So yes, you will see some pullbacks. In any case, it's healthy to see pullbacks, but I do think that this doesn't really take that opportunity to pull back to the 200 EMA from what I see. That's why you're seeing more of a positive day today, because the pullback was to $7 rather than being to I don't know, 5 or 6, or coming back all the way to the 200 EMA of $5.61. That's not what you're seeing here. Yes, I understand the overall look of it. You see this massive increase to start, and then you have that initial pullback, but the fact that you had that strength afterwards creates a smaller pullback usually. So what do I think of Ride as a swing? I think it's a good swing. I'm still looking at it. So if you're interested in Ride, if you notice, it got to its low for, come on, we got to look at the 100,000 foot view here. The 100,000 foot view on this looks amazing, because you look at this and you see all of the volatility going from certain points, multiple touch points at resistance levels, at support levels, and you see this massive like hard support level that it had of $12.80, and it hit that $12.80 mark exactly and bounced back from it just a little bit. And let's see if we can see a huge bounce back. If we can see a bounce up to maybe go up, I don't know, a good 4, 5, 10%, then you're going to see that move. I want to basically get in there at that $14 mark maybe, and then have that skyrocket and test some of these other levels of $18, of $21. It doesn't look like it does a crazy amount of pullbacks when it is retesting those areas. So I like it. God, my nose itches. Ride looks pretty decent as a swing. Any thoughts? I just gave my thoughts on that. I'm literally on it right now. Did you miss it? Were you look? Did you go to a different thing? Yeah, I have itchy nose. I don't know why. AMC the 1 hour seems a bit bearish. No. Let's look at it. I can go to my positions. AMC 1 hour candlesticks looks bearish to you? Damn it, I didn't hear. My bad. If you you can actually rewind it if you wanted to, like a few minutes. But yeah, you can get to that. But I'm not going to rewind. Sucks we aren't allowed to purchase in the pre-market. You can purchase in the pre-market. You just have to set up your brokerage account to do so. For Webull, you just have to enable it, and I'm able to trade in the pre-market if I want to. It's just orders get filled a lot slower, and I hate that. I hate that so much. Even though the price action moves a lot with less volume, the reason why it's less volume is because orders get filled slower. So thoughts on Ride? Is that what you're going with? That's funny. I think it looks pretty dang good for AMC in the last. Yeah, if we're talking about the hour candlesticks, if you're talking about hour candlesticks right now, looks a little bit flat. I don't know what you're seeing there, saying that the hour candlesticks look bearish, but the overall hour candlesticks look, or you mean within the hour? You mean within the hour? Does it look bearish? Yeah, the pre-market is not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. Yeah, from 1440 down to 1411. Yeah, you can say that, especially with the 200 EMA being or 200 EMA being over the 15 moving average, showing that it is more of a bearish indicator. Yes, it does look pretty bearish. I wouldn't say over the last hour, over this point, it was kind of flat, very flat. And then obviously now it does look a little bit bearish here. But typically throughout the last 30 minutes, we see some sort of a push in most cases. So hopefully we can continue to see this as the day opens, but just know that more times than not, it drops down with the initial candlestick. And I'm gonna be looking at RKT to see what they're doing because I want them to get above 2450, I believe. I should have, if I would have been looking at it yesterday, I would have gotten out at 2450 where it was. It did get up to 2480, I think. I think it got up pretty high, and I could have gotten out with my, I'm not going to get out with the whole thing. What I was doing was lowering my cost basis and taking 30 shares, buying into it at 2451, and I could have gotten out at higher than that. Since I don't have any day trades left, I can't do it intraday, so I have to do it after the day. I have to hold overnight and then do it after the day. So it's basically the same thing. It's just going to take a while to get to that point. The problem is that I let it get this low, and if I would have taken that out and then reinvested it in at the low of $23.10, then I would have made more money, or I would have lowered that cost basis more for Rocket. So I made a mistake because I couldn't, like I wasn't paying attention to the markets because I had a pretty busy birthday here, but I missed out on lowering that cost basis by another $1.50 or so, at least. Yeah, I understand. With Ride having a lawsuit, that's why I want to see that bounce back, because I want to see if they can find a way to recover, whether the lawsuit's in place or not. Sometimes news doesn't really actually give you that downward movement that you were expected. It's literally just the history that's doing that. It could be in a lawsuit, but for the last however many months, I don't believe it was. So it was just downward movement based on the history of the stock and people getting out based on what it's trending like. So that's the reason why I like it. But yes, you're right. With any bad news, you do want to wait it out a little bit. I just want to see that move up. If I see that launching point, then we should be good. Thank you for joining over on TikTok. I haven't checked Twitch in a while. I'm sorry, guys. Do you prefer people watching on Twitch or YouTube or both? I like both. Obviously, YouTube is better because I get AdSense revenue. I'm not going to be affiliated on YouTube, but I just want to reach more people. I'm not going to be affiliated on Twitch. I'm not going to set that up because I hear you can only stream on Twitch if you are an affiliate on Twitch. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, I like YouTube a little bit better. I do use both, all three: Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. But I started on YouTube. I literally just started a Twitch recently. Oh, Jesus. Need to crack some things. All right, so let's see what we're looking like here. All right, so we have pretty decent amount in the Discord group. Thank you everybody that joined the Discord group. I think we got 2 people to join today. Want to be able to talk to everybody about different investments. Also, bounce ideas off of each other. That's what it's all about with these Discord groups. If you guys want to join the Discord group, the link is pinned to the chat. It's also in the description. Mavis live coverage, come chill. Are you pitching? Are you pitching your own channel? Where's the link for the Discord? The link is pinned to the chat. It's also in the description of the video. So you'll see a pinned comment by me, Patreon/Discord. It does cost $5. I do that all the time. It does cost $5. I add the S to cost. It costs. But yeah, it does cost $5, mainly to not have thousands of people in there. I think it will eventually get to a point to where we have 500, maybe 1,000 people in there, but hopefully we can split it up. And I've seen Discord groups that have tens of thousands, if not more than that, and it tends to be hectic. So I hope to build a decent community that we can bounce ideas off of each other, understand where my head is, where your head is, not just mine. And also if you have like options questions, there are people there that can answer options. So yeah, $5, good deal. Yeah, I try to make it as easy as possible. There is another level to where you'll get Carl's calls and the weekly dividends and all that stuff. The only reason for that, and I like to be transparent, is because I make those videos, and if I made those videos and put them on YouTube, then I would be paid AdSense for them. So it takes time to do that, and especially with the research that I do. So hopefully you can appreciate that. But yeah, I try to be as transparent as possible with everything. So you'll also see me, do some updates on things that I gain and all that stuff. It'll be fun. Where I stand with certain things, what I'm doing with Rocket, especially lowering cost averages. I need to lower that down because I'm down $1,331. It's sort of a wash here, but as this starts to go lower, as I start to lower this cost basis and the price goes higher, we should be in a good situation. So I want this to go above 24.51 today so I can get out of it and then get back in lower, so that I can lower the cost basis again. Hi Matt, what do you think of SCR? So the movement here is spotty. I don't like spotty movement because it doesn't give me an indication on what the price is doing. As I'm looking at it for a day trade, I would say I would think of this as impossible for me to day trade because not being able to see what are large candlesticks, where the large wicks are as well. It's just not it's very spotty, very spotty. More gap ups than anything. But let's look at, it looks like the original price movement, or the price movement in a day, is from low to high is around a little under $2. Is that right to say? A little under $2. So that's not something I can look at as a day trading opportunity. Now, when it comes to swing trade, let's look at the 10,000 foot view here. We can see that it did drop from $43. It had that large gap up and is consistently dropping. So that was in February that it had a gap up. Did it have some sort of split? Like reverse split, I mean? Let's look at the news. Maybe it was just a true gap. Well, let's just say it's a gap up. I don't see any. Oh, we would have to go all the way back if we wanted to. When was it, in February? No, it's a share consolidation. One new Class A share for every 10 shares. So yeah, it must have had a reverse split. Is that? No. All right, so you can see that it's up to $43. The point is that it's up to $43 and dropping down pretty significantly from $43 down to 30, or down to $21. So seeing that drop, it doesn't really show that it has the potential. It looks more bearish to flat, and that's not something I want to see in a position. Overall, you can see the 15 moving average is over the 200 EMA, but probably looking at it closer, you could see that the 15, well, you did see some pretty good growth here. So from 21, you could see some growth. The problem is that I can't look at it as a day trade, and how spotty it is, I really can't look at it. I would have to analyze this a little bit more and take some more into consideration here, because it does look like you can get a pretty decent swing from it, as long as it, you know, hits certain lows. But right now, I would think, you know, it's probably like in the middle of that, going up to 30, down to 21. So you can get a decent swing from it, but I just need to see a little bit more detail from it. Probably need to wait it out a little bit more. If it does drop down to 21 again, I think it could be a point to where you can get back in easily. But yeah. You update your Discord on how often good, brother? Do I update my Discord on how often I'm green, basically? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, if I make any moves, I plan on doing more updates, a lot more updates. Thank you for joining the Discord, Ironhead Rick. I appreciate that a lot. I will update your role probably after the stream. Let's see. So yeah, I'm going to be updating my the Discord on every move that I make over here. When it comes to, or any short-term move that I make over in Fidelity, majority of that is going to be long-term. So any short-term move that I make over here, I will update you guys. Anything that I do in order to lower cost average and the overall situation of it, I will definitely update you. When it comes to Rocket in general, my overall plan is to lower the cost average, probably bring that price, the cost average price, down to 26, while the stock price ends up increasing to about 30, where it should stand. Then I'll make a pretty decent profit out of it. Not a huge profit for the amount of time that I was holding, but a decent profit out of it. And I'll update everybody on how I got out of this hole, and the overall situation of what moves I made, because obviously I made a lot of orders. So I take 30 orders, I buy it, and then I sell it for a little bit higher. I buy it and I sell it for a little bit higher. Same thing over and over and over again, in order to lower the cost average. So I will update people on exactly what happened there, do a full update video maybe on Patreon, and then also do like some sort of screenshots if I could find it, or a full update on Rocket. I still don't know all the ins and outs of Webull, so I would love to be able to show one stock and exactly what happened, profit to loss, right? How often do I update my Discord? I'm constantly on it. I don't know. Like your picks and WE. So if you're talking about how often I update them on like what picks I'm doing for the current week. So with a lot of the swing trade picks or day trade picks, I will day trade picks or long-term investments. Long-term investments. I'll do any of the dividend trades. I will update them on Patreon. That's the second group. But when it comes to overall things that I'm interested in, I will bring it up occasionally. It's not something that I do it every 5 minutes. Obviously, I have a family, so it's something where I try to update as many people as possible. But there's a lot of people that give good suggestions on there and talk about the profits that they're making. But for the overall weekly picks, I do that weekly, basically every Monday. Carl's calls, I'll do that every 2 weeks. But yeah, I don't do it. I don't put out like 5 different picks a day. I'll just do like a couple of picks here and there. If I do see something that's very interesting, I will do that. But it is relatively new for the Discord group, so things can grow as we start to grow the amount of people, what everybody's interests are. And different groups will probably get updated on certain things faster depending on what we're talking about in that channel. So I think it's something that will grow there. We are your family now. You're part of my family. Carl's calls, not claws. So Carl picks stocks, and basically it's the thought of cats that can make a great decision in order to make more profits than like an experienced investor long term. Just picking stocks, like throwing things at a dartboard or something. In this case, we put stocks on the ground, and he picks it based on what treat he goes to. So, do I have a Twitter? I do. I don't really use it that much. I think the link should be in the description. If it's not, it's on my channel page. Thanks for the Webull link. I used it, so you get free stocks as well. I just started investing, so thanks for helping me out. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Thank you for using my link, and I hope you like the platform. I absolutely love the platform. So far, I don't really see any issues with it. The only issue I do see with it is probably it takes a little bit longer to deposit from what I'm seeing. Do you think UAL is a good buy? Let's see. Thank you for viewing on TikTok. I will look at that. United Airlines holding anything airline related. I think it's a good buy. I have been saying to people, oh, American Airlines, the price will be good. I think it was back in August when I talked about American Airlines, a good time to buy, and people were, pushing back at me. And I don't like to, I don't know, toot my own horn here and say that I was right, but I was. So to say that it was going to increase in price and we were going to see a pretty decent increase. I have it in my long-term investing accounts, my brother's long-term investing accounts, and I'm holding it there and just seeing what the gain could be over the long haul. And it looks like it's pretty good. So the same thing with UAL. Let's look at the 10,000 foot view. You can see the same thing that happened from 39, back just in February up to $63. I'm so hungry. And then even further back than that, I need to go get some cereal or something, which I will do in the next 40 minutes. But yeah, I can see them definitely making some moves. I would say since it was pulling away, I would hope that you see a couple of touch points. You see one touch point back to the 200 EMA. And if you could see another touch point back to the 200 EMA, that would be great. But I don't know if you will see it because it is basically doing a really good job over the last couple of weeks or so. So yeah, I definitely see United Airlines doing something pretty decent. Thoughts on WTRH? Mid, long term. Also, do you know if the DTC rule change is in effect and when does it go into effect? That's a good question, when it goes into effect, because we don't know. I think it should be in effect, but I don't know if they're actually like fully implementing it, if that makes sense. So people are questioning like, when are we going to see this change? When are we going to see anything take place here? And we don't know the answer to that. So it's definitely a difficult situation there. We're trying to stay updated on it, but I can tell you I don't know, and neither do a lot of other people, which is funny because they make it seem like they're implementing something, but then they don't actually implement it. They make it seem like they're doing something, even though they know billionaires control the world. They know that if they make a decision to go against billionaires, it goes against them as well because that's their funding, you know? So corporations, institutions, or hedge funds, whatever, they end up funding a lot of their campaigns. So they're not going to fight anything like that. They're going to put something in place. Oh. Anyways, let's see. Do I see this as a long-term, short-term? I do see a lot of potential short-term. Look at this. So it had multiple touch points here at $2.71, and currently it's at $2.80. So seeing that, just seeing how this is moving here and having these touch points, wow. Okay, yeah. I see a number of touch points, which means that where it's at right now is probably where the low is. It did have a lower point than where it was. No, it was a double. The low was $2.71, and this low was $2.71. That is a huge sign to say that it is looking to bounce off of that and have true fight off of this number here. So I definitely see this as close to a buy opportunity, literally like now. Like once we see that this is going to make a move, it doesn't hurt to put a bunch in here, especially being at where the lows were for a number of touch points. I like this a lot, and I'll continue to analyze this to break this down. If you knock over that light, Daisy, I swear. Just stay away from each other. Stop fighting. But yeah, I'm gonna add this because this looks really interesting. Anytime someone brings something to me that has multiple touch points at the lows, I always like to continue to analyze it to see if it's going to be a good buy, but it does look like it will be something really good. So let's add that to swing trades. Let's also go back to ride and add that to swing trades because I added that to my popular stocks just to look at that from my list that I currently look at. But I want to add it to swing trades just because, you know, it has some pretty decent movement. Dude never even takes a toilet break. Yeah. I mean, to tell you the truth, I got this water, and I always have this water. People make fun of the way I say water because it's more of like a PA way of saying water. It's more of like a water. And my daughter says it the same way, and my wife makes fun of me because she says it a different way. He actually says water, like water, water. Active Trader Pro had a lot of issues showing account info this week. Like it couldn't show your account info. Is that I don't get it. I've been an Active Trader Pro, but I've used Active Trader Pro for a long period of time. But once I found Webull, I was just like, this is hands down a better platform than anything I've ever used. And I've used a number of platforms. Big banks and billionaires like Warren Buffett pay for Democrat elections. Hold up. Well, yes. Democratic. But yeah, they pay for all, like, the elections in general. They pay for state elections, local elections, presidential elections. They pay for basically everything. They put all their money into it. Some people don't take money from big businesses or big banks or whatever. They don't take money from them knowing that they have to kind of abide by their rules. That's not how that goes. So yeah, they're putting all their money into certain campaigns, elections, all they're putting money into everything, right? And it sucks because that they control the world, and if we need something to be implemented based on people, that support the people that run this country, it ends up being a situation that's just like a revolving circle. They make it seem like they're doing something, but they're not actually doing anything. Yeah, I don't think we're making it. I don't think we're making it a Republican and Democrat issue. Are you familiar with American cannabis market legalization federal? You give us a little insight. I'm not familiar with that. I'm not. All I know is I'm looking at the cannabis positions, and as I start to see positivity in there, I can obviously say that it is a growing market, a growing sector, but I'm not familiar with that. No. The legalization federally or statewide, I'm not familiar with that. Oligarchy. They aren't going to help us win and let them lose. All I'm saying. Yeah, you're right. In any, think of this as a negotiation, right? This overall situation is a negotiation, and they're not going to let them lose 100%. They're going to let them. It's going to feel like everybody lost in the deal. That's what they're going to want to have happen. But they also have to make it feel like they won a little bit, because if they don't lose as much as they were supposed to lose, then technically they won here. If they end up losing millions rather than billions, they won, but they still lost millions, right? For us, if we don't continue to push this up, we don't continue to fight here, and which we will, we are going to continue to fight. There's a bunch of people that are willing to back this for years if possible. Then it's obviously going to be a bad situation if we don't end up winning. But we're going to win. We're going to. There's a lot of people that already made a ton of profit out of it. Looking at DFV as more of a god, basically, of this overall situation, this overall movement. And hopefully a lot of other people can become millionaires as time goes on. We can continue to move the market the same way with different stocks. And a lot of people are seeing this. We're moving stocks the way that they shouldn't be moving. We're pumping these stocks and continue to pump a lot of these stocks. There was a licensed producer that supplied a majority of medical cannabis here in Canada who became a giant when it became legal on a federal level here in Canada. Well, that's smart. That's huge. Can I put a side-to-side GME and AMC? Yeah, I can do that. That's Ride. Why am I looking at Ride? I was going to say, why is that dropping down so much? And why is it at $31? Let's go popular AMC. Okay, so let's look at the same time period. Let's look at 1 day, 1 minute candlesticks just over the pre-market. Then we can look at 1 day, 1 minute candlesticks pre-market. Doesn't really look similar. Why is this not working? This looks so weird. Oh, did it open? Oh, we're open. Oh, geez, I'm over here reviewing things. So it looks like we're open. Looks like GME is dropping down significantly down to 192. You see AMC that did drop down to 1397 and now it's starting to increase back up to 1405. You see cost that's on a little bit of an increase. Rockets on a little bit of an increase. I would like to see them a lot more. Roblox up 3%. I'm a little under 3%. Tilray's making a little bit of a move. ZOM is on the way down. That's interesting to me. Very interesting. You might want to see what they continue to do. They might be falling down some more. So let's continue to look at GME. So GME is now at 196. So it's starting to make a little bit of a move up. And the same thing for AMC here. I told you in the beginning, you typically see that downward movement. The first candlestick is a sell-off point. People were just looking to get out of that situation. And now you see a lot of people looking to get back in until now. See that dropping down now? You're saying GME will crash? What makes you think that? Just based on just guessing? Are you in Canada or the US? I'm in the US. Why did I have to think about that? But I'm in, I'm in the US. Hey, good morning. How are you this fine morning? I'm doing pretty well. Thank you, Chad, for asking. I'm doing pretty well. You're doing all right. How about you, my dude? Oh, you are talking to each other, but I'm doing good. Here are more emotes. I don't know what that is. So it looks like AMC's really pushing below 14. We're seeing a little bit of a negative move. Just know that we typically see any type of bounce. The first 30 minutes really doesn't show where it's going. It could show the distance between the high and the low, though. So this might be the distance that we're seeing between whatever the high and the low is. What did it open at? 14.15. Hopefully we don't continue to see a negative move, which we could possibly see because Fridays don't tend to be the most positive days. Typically, we got 8 people viewing over on Twitch. I think I am going to be playing tonight. I'm going to be playing Cold War tonight. I have an inspection in my car, and I also have to go pick up some things. Can't remember what I have to pick up. Oh, Erica got me an amazing watch that I have to go get some links taken out of. I typically would do it myself, but my stuff broke. So it looks like we are continuing to push down. We're continuing to make moves down, all the way down to 1374 at the moment. We're seeing a pretty decent move, which gives people opportunities to get in wherever you see these lows are actually at. Just keep in mind with any of these, they might be false lows. What they tend to do is they'll drop it down. People will invest back in, obviously for it to continue to go back down. So just make sure it's not a false low if you wanted to get into this position. Because 15 is still in the cards today. It's not something that's gone away. I do see some pretty decent movement. It's going to be a bounce back to the 15 moving average. That's typically what you do see. You're going to see that those touch points. It looks like GME is now still at 194. It's been going back and forth. You've seen it have these long wicks, meaning that you have a lot of fight between buyers and sellers, or buyers and shorters, I guess. Short sellers. I should have added you. Okay, yeah, I'll be streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. I will do both, and I will game on Cold War. Erica bought me Cold War for PlayStation, but I was like, you didn't need to do that because I can crossplay with Xbox. But Spider-Man, I'm hype about that. I definitely need to download Marvel Avengers, that new game. I have it for Xbox, but obviously PlayStation involves Spider-Man, so I want to. Oh wow, we broke 190 for GME. We're at 180. Well, we were at 189. 188. Wow, this could be a good opportunity for some people. And this is what I mean. Some people may get tired of like waiting it out, because what I see happening in the future for this is we're going to continue to see these highs and lows. They're going to progressively get less and less, but it will be a point to where we see it at the high for a number of days to like a week, and then we see it drop down a little bit as hedge funds start to short again. And then we see that people that are holding or people that are buying, or the hedge funds are covering their shorts, and we'll see it go up. It's going to continue to be a fight because they have the money, they have the time, they have the resources in order to do that. And it sucks that they do, because we just want them to give up. But we are seeing AMC push up above $14, where it would be at a break even. Seeing this large green candlestick is great. It did get back up to the 15 moving average, which I do see the GME starting to make that move as well. When it pulls away from the 15 moving average, just know that even though the 15 moving average is moving down, know that it will come back. You know, it's trying to make its move back. Rocket is pissing me off though. Rocket's making a little bit of a move down. It went down to $22.91. I'm really gonna have to lower this cost basis. But, you know, this is $7,000 that I can just obviously continue to keep in there and lower the cost basis more and more and more as time goes on. And then eventually see that pop, because I do believe they should be around $30, which it may be more of a longer term swing to where I can lower the cost basis. If it does drop below 20, I can lower the cost basis to like 23 and see that eventual push up to $30 to where it should be, you know? So it'll be pretty good. That's actually a really good plan there. So hopefully it does. Since this is not money that I physically need to have in there. That's just rockets. So it looks like things are starting to go down. I need to scratch my back. It just, there we go. There we are. But AMC's hovering around that $14 mark. I think we're going to see a little bit of a push up here. We're going to continue to see that V shape and go from there. We have 848 people in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. If you haven't had a chance to hit the like button, please do so. What is a false low and how do you spot it? False lows are very tough to see, but something like this, wow, that dropped. But false lows are something like this, where you think it's going to come back and you have a wide range candlestick. And that wide range candlestick is a false wide range candlestick. It's usually you see that and you'll see a positive movement, and that's what I look for. And I look for two wide range candlesticks, but it could mean that it's not something that's ready to pull back or ready to push back up yet, or pull back, whatever side you're looking at. So don't just look at the candlesticks, also look at what maybe the next candlestick is going to do. If you see like a candlestick like this, so over here you're going to see a candlestick that's more towards the selling side, even though it is a positive green candlestick, means that you could see a red candlestick come up next. So there's a lot of different indicators that you can look at and say, is this going to be a false positive here? So it looks like the markets are starting to, it's not, maybe the markets are tanking. Friday doesn't really tend to be the best day usually. And this is what I was saying by the pre-market not really indicating what the actual market can do. So especially with the amount of manipulation that looks like is going on, and if it starts to drop a crazy amount, then you know that's exactly what's happening. Here we go. Here we go. It's breaking new low points. 1337, and it starts to get people extremely scared in the beginning of the day. Yep, look at this. 5%, 7% for GME. This just creates new buying opportunity for a lot of people. AMC is falling. Yes, AMC is falling, GME is falling. But this looks like a true trap. We're seeing another one of those. I don't know how low it's going to actually go, but this is the first 30 minutes. First 30 minutes always is really volatile. Didn't I have a super chat? Thinking about getting Webull and using your link, but do you recommend it for day trading or only swing trading since it's not DAS? I recommend it for both. I would say if you have this $25,000 in your account, it's definitely recommended for day trading. Even if you don't, you could still use it and be able to create positive movement with only 3 trades. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it for day trading and swing trading, not because I want you to use my link or anything. One, I don't even think I'm getting the free stocks because I might have reached my limit. So either way, it's showing me what free stocks I would have gotten, but it's not actually filling those stocks, because there are a lot of stocks that I'm missing over like $3,000 worth because I think I hit my limits of how many stocks that I can gain. But anyways, when it comes to day trading or swing trading, with this platform is absolutely phenomenal, being able to do the technical analysis, and even to the point to where, like I said, if you have less than $25,000 in your account, doing 3 trades is enough, because some people will only do 5 trades per week, and if they lose on those trades, they'll give up when it comes to day trading. But swing trading, it's not something you have a limit on. So you can obviously take that and invest into a position for a number of weeks to buy and hold for maybe a week or so. It looks like GME and AMC are making that move back up. That was obviously a scary situation for a lot of people. It's moving back up to the 15 moving average for GME. It's way far away from the 15 moving average for AMC. But yeah, I would definitely recommend it for day trading and swing trading. I do it for both. I only use Fidelity for my long-term investing. So yeah, thank you for the super chat. That was a good question. I'm starting to fall in love with Webull, and I don't even really go into Fidelity unless I'm looking to check how much I have, what my profit is there. So yeah. Thank you for sending the super chat though. I know I answered it kind of late. I appreciate that a lot. Remember guys, we have 909 people in here. If you guys want to join my Discord group, the link is in the description. It's pinned to the chat. The last person that joined was Ironhead Rick. Thank you. I will add your role as soon as I'm done with this live stream. What's my Twitch? My Twitch handle is, or I guess that's called a Twitch handle, is Matthew _G_Perry. But it's also going to be in the chat at the moment. Give me a second. There you go. Is that going to take you to the dashboard? I don't think that'll work. I got to take you to the actual channel, maybe. Yeah, it'll work. Here we go. There we go. There we are. Yeah, so we got 9 people watching over on Twitch. Thank you for joining over there. I appreciate it. Go back to the creator dashboard. I'm not going to try and be affiliate over here. We've been streaming for about 2 hours, a little under 2 hours. But it looks like GME made a little bit of a recovery from where they were back up to the 15 moving average, which you could see the 15 moving average is well below the 200 EMA, which is not indicating any type of positive price action across the board. You can see that Rocket is still decreasing to $22.97. Pisses me off, but it also makes me excited about lowering my cost basis even more, knowing that they have a lot of potential to continue to increase. Roblox is up 3%. Tilray is up 0.08% or 0.22% now. AMC is down 4% as well. And I thought that was going to come back up to the 15 moving average. It looks like the 15 moving average is chasing the stock price. So we might just see a down day, which gives people a lot of buying opportunity. Think of it as a positive. You know that this stock is worth a lot more. So think of it as a positive. Totally illegal manipulation by the hedge funds. Yeah, they're doing all of this. They're doing all that they can in order to lower the stock price, knowing that it was going to get to 20 easily this week. Zoom out and look at how we're doing. Buy the dip if you can. Yeah, I would agree with you, David. Thank you for sending the super chat, saying that we definitely need to hold at these times. You look at this. Yeah, this is a firm hold, and then you can easily buy in more and buy these dips so that we increase the stock price a lot more and we have more leverage. And they're just giving us more opportunity to get into these positions. Yeah, they're shorting, naked shorting. They're doing whatever they can in order to manipulate the stock price. And I think we might end up seeing a reversal here of all of this negative action. So just be aware of that. Even though we are seeing it down, we might see a reversal. We're starting to see Rocket go back and forth between a reversal. See, this is the point to where if I did have a certain amount in the account, I didn't mean to rhyme there, but I did, I would put it in here and obviously drive this cost basis down by investing in here and selling somewhere higher with the same shares. And that's what I plan to do with the 30 that I put in yesterday. So once it gets above 24.51, I will take some of that out so that I can put some more in there at a lower price so that I can lower the cost average and continue to lower that cost average. Because right now I'm down $1,421. I'm up $800 on AMC though. And on Fidelity, I would imagine I'm up around $6,000, $7,000 there. Thank you. Your channel is informing and not full of BS meme hype. Yeah, I try to keep it realistic. I'm not a person that just, obviously I look at a lot of these hype positions to where we are generating a lot of volume based on the fact that we need people to be hype around this, around AMC, around GME, around hopefully Rocket. It looks like cost is more into that category than anything else. But yeah, I try to be realistic with all of these price targets and see where it's going to get back to. If it's going to push back to the EMA, or the 200 moving average, which it did do. Can it push back to the 200 EMA here? The 15 moving average is what I was saying before. You can tell I still need a little bit more sleep. But yeah, I try to be as realistic as possible. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for saying all of that. Thoughts on gold mining companies? HMY. I'm not really a person that's into gold, but yeah. Well, what is forecast for the gold miners? Should we buy HMY as they are cheap now? If I wanted to look at history, let's bring up, since GME is moving, I guess, a little bit. Still down to 192. Let's look at HMY. Let's look at this from where it is now. You can see that it is showing a sort of an increase today. It's, well, from where it closed, it's down, but it's showing an increase from where it opened. Opened at $4.39, closed, or the last ticker that closed or something like that, I guess, is at $4.44. So yes, you do see that increase. Why do I get confused as to what I'm looking at here? The high is $4.46. So let's look at a 10,000 foot view here. We can see that it is at a lower price. Looks like it did have that W formation where it jumped up to $4.68 or $4.70. You did see a pretty substantial increase where it passed a couple of test points. Did not surpass, though, these test points, meaning that it does not have the buying strength in order to do so. If you're talking about a long-term play, it does look like something you can gain up to $5.39 as long as it continues to test these areas. But let's look at the 100,000 foot view here. The 100,000 foot view looks like completely, like, with a lot of volatility, completely bearish move, all the way down from, where was it at, $7.61 down to the $3.75, where it does have that little bit of an increase. That was a double touch. So if it does have that double touch, you're thinking that it is going to increase above these new levels of resistance here. So you can definitely play it for a swing trade or a long-term trade if you're looking to get into that. But I don't see it as something that's going to, like, I don't know, 10x, if that's what you wanted to say. But you are going to see a pretty good increase just based on history, without even factoring in any of the news or any news catalysts or anything like that. So let's look at a larger view, maybe year to date, just to see what it looks like. So you did see that massively increase. If I'm looking at a total year to date, it would kind of look like something that's having a complete, not a complete sell-off, but a sell-off here. If I was just drawing a trend line down this way to hit one of these new lows. But I think hitting this low point here, this double touch point, does indicate that we are going to have some sort of a launching point here, and the 15 moving average is looking like it's going to cross over the 200 EMA, which is great. It indicates bullish price action. So definitely has a strong indication of increasing here for a good swing trade or a long-term trade, depending how long, what you classify as long-term. So hopefully that helps. I watch Perry mainly because he's realistic and does do this diamond hands people. Hit the like button to the moon. Yes. He wakes up, talks real. Yes, I try to. I try to talk as real as possible. Obviously, get people to hit the like button. Thank you everybody that does hit the like button. You guys are amazing. Guys and gals are amazing. But yeah, I wake up and just try and get some of the good out of any of the bad that's happening. But I don't like to completely sugarcoat it and say that AMC is going to go to $50 today. No, I don't say that AMC is going to 2K today. I didn't even break down that analysis, that due diligence. I seen it, I understood it, but do I want to break it down? No, because I feel like it's on the it's not full BS, but it's on the level of unbelievable that would happen, like completely unbelievable. So make something more realistic, make sure people can gain a profit. If it does go up higher than where their profit target is, as long as they gained a really decent profit out of it, they should be fine. And understanding what the stock price can do, I'll make sure to update you guys. If I do make a decision where I sell at 20, or completely sell at 20 based on the fact that I don't want to continue into AMC because there's a lot more opportunities that I could get into, then yeah, I can go ahead and do that. But I'm going to make sure to update you guys and let you know, if I make a sell at 20 and it goes up to 100, I'll keep updating you guys on when you can actually get in, get out, and do what you have to do, because eventually this is going to taper off and we're going to see it turn into just like a regular stock situation, but just higher priced. So eventually, but it may be like a year or a year and a half or something like that, because I've seen these situations happen. There's another one. Thoughts on all of these stocks. There's a lot of stocks there. Very quick, because I have 4 minutes. So this one here looks like a pump and dump. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, actually, this is over a number of days. Never mind. Let me look at this a little bit closer. A little bit closer, you can see that it does have a massive increase from 14 cents to $4.89. I think you kind of just missed the boat there. I don't know if I would get into this because it does actually look like a pump and dump, and now it's starting to go, trail down, and I don't really see any signs of increasing, any signs of positivity. So I can't give you that one there. MKD. You may, like I said, with all these positions, if you could find a way to get in before the boat leaves, then you're good. But I hope that these aren't all just pump and dumps here. This one looks a little bit more volatile, to where you did see that launching point at 96 cents. So seeing that increase, obviously this decrease is not something that I would think would be there. I guess just based on history from being at 78 cents and seeing this jump up, a decrease, jump up, decrease. This one looks like it has a little bit more potential. Still looks like more of a like a pumper, I guess. It pumps multiple days. Looks like RKT is making a move. Looks like it pumps multiple days, and it would have been great to invest here and probably get out here for a decent gain depending how many shares you got. But look for it to hit any that low point again, especially with it trailing down. So hopefully that does help. But let's look at DN. This one also looks like it had a massive pump and then did drop down significantly with a couple of spikes here and there. Now this looks like it's on the same level of like GME and AMC when it comes to the shape of it, because you had that large increase where it did fall off, a couple of spikes here and there, and then a spike towards where the current day is. So you can definitely see a little bit of movement here, but I don't expect too much of it because I don't know any of the details behind it. If it's like heavily shorted or anything, don't know that. But with some of the details, barring some of the details, it definitely looks like it could have a little bit of potential, just not as much as I would hope to see. Hopefully that does help. Let me go into this last one. Opinions on them being first to add crypto options to their game. I mean, that's huge to have something that has crypto options. I haven't looked into it. I'm not an options person. Oh, crypto options, like as in paying with crypto, or opinion on them being the first to add crypto options to their gaming. Yeah, sorry, I misread that completely. I was going to say. So looking at stock price, I'm getting extremely tired. But yeah, no more super chats here because I gotta go. I will look at a couple of other things and then I'll make some moves out. But I don't have any opinion on them adding crypto to their gaming. If that's what they're doing, like saying you can like pay with crypto, if that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure of the details behind it. I would have to look into the news. But it's obviously a good deal if anybody does add, is the first to do anything. So if they're adding crypto to their gaming, it's a huge deal. But I don't think that'll affect the stock price in a huge way. May affect crypto prices, but that's pretty much it. So if I was looking at this position, I would say it did have a massive pump over the last couple of days, maybe based on some news that you were talking about, or just based on the fact that people want to pump these positions. But you do see that there was a pump, dropped down to basically where it was, and now you see this initial pump and doing the exact same thing. So I don't know if I see this as a buy opportunity for this position, but you can definitely get some pretty decent spikes out of it. And it looks like it's going to continue. We're going to see those spikes, maybe on the uptrend too. I mean, you look at this and it crossed over the 15 moving average, crossed over the 200 EMA. You may see a little bit of positive price action there. Here's a free super chat with no question. Thank you. Ride is on the move. Is Ride on the move? Where's Ride? Ride is on the move. All right, so that's what I needed to see. If today goes up to like 14, then that's where I would look for an investing point. But obviously, I don't want it to happen because I don't have any free money in there. So it looks like a great opportunity, but I may end up catching it, you know, at 14, at $15 maybe. I hope not, because then that's definitely a point to where it tests at like $16. So if I catch it at 15, that's only $1 gain, which is it's fine, but still. Anyways, let's see what AMC is doing. I'm not going to read any more comments here because I will get stuck. AMC is down to $13.61. We could see that we did have some movement up and down. Where's that at? This is not even it. This is Rocket. $13.61. Let's go to one screen. Killing me, man. $13.64. We did have some pretty good movement. It was kind of similar to what Rocket was doing. It did, you know, cross the 15 moving average multiple times. You can see that is the back to earth, you know, statement that I make all the time. It always comes back to earth here. We want to see it increase, but if it does stay flat, that's not a problem at all. It may end up reversing field. Instead of being negative, it could be positive towards the middle of the day to where a lot of volume comes in. Same thing for GME. Same thing for cost, and hopefully the same thing for Rocket, because I am so pissed as to where they are right now. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you want to join the Discord group, make sure you hit that link in the chat. It's pinned to the chat. Also, it's in the description. If you want free stocks from Webull, click the link down below, sign up, deposit $100, and you'll get free stocks. Same thing for TikTok. If you want free stocks from Webull, click the link in the bio and sign up, deposit $100, and you'll get those. Yes, I did say Ride. I don't know why I'm reading that. All right, well, make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Get it to 1,000 likes. That would be amazing. Also, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, definitely do that. I played like 0 ads in this video for some reason, but I'm going to play an ad right now before we leave. But I'll catch you guys in the next stream.